This is Zichru Daf Simanim Gemara Sanhedrin Daf Mem Aleph. Now Mem Aleph Ma, but more particularly, it's going to be grandma. As we see over here, we have a grandma sitting over here in a bezdin that is quite upset. Quite upset. Why? Because her granddaughter over here, granddaughter who says Mazdav on her ears since she's an Eira Murasa. And the Eid Zaymimin over here, unfortunately, are not going to be killed. They're not going to be executed. Why? Because they claim they didn't come to kill anyone. They only wanted to forbid on the husband. And therefore, the din of Eidim Zaymimin will not actually kill them, as they didn't come to inflict death penalty, but rather only to make someone usher. Point number two is that we see that the two Eidim over here are testifying, but they don't remember. Each one has a different memory of the color of the shirt, a sidebar detail. And the judge over here says your edus is not bottle when the bidikos, not the chakiros, not the integral questions, the badikos, the sidebar questions, the edim messed them up. Their edus will not be bottle. But point number three is when her grandson is on trial and he doesn't know the color of the shirt, she finds out that he still could be considered a hazama, even when he doesn't know one of the bidiko's questions. So 3 points about Edim. We have grandma, Dav Mem Aleph, her granddaughter, who was a Naira Murasa. Over here, the Eid Zaymimim will not be killed because they didn't come to Aser, number one. Number two, if someone messed up on Bedikais, the Eid is not Batal. Number three, this is the Eid over here testifying for the grandson that the Eidus can still be refuted through Azama when one does not know one of the Bedikais. Let's go a little bit deeper at these 3 points. Point number one, Eidim Zaynmin, who testified about adultery, claiming La Isra al Baila Banu. Says Rav Chanan, the Eidim didn't come to say that they try to kill. They didn't come to say that the person should be killed. They only came to answer her. Since that was their intent, the Kasher Zamam will not kill them. Says the Gemara, if they were warned before, and then obviously they intended to have her executed because that's the halacha. And they know there was no hasra. Normally hasra is required over here. We're talking about be'isha chavira, a learned woman. Rav Yehuda says, a scholar, but if she knows the halacha, she does not require hasra. Concludes the Gemara, Eidim would not be excluded for azama, then she herself will not be killed because it's the Eidah she had to yachol lahazima. Point number two is bedikois. Again, not the integral questions, but rather the sidebar questions. Said the Mishnah, Eidim give conflicting answers to the secondary questions. The testimony is void. Shehei nachain. Rav Chisda said one witness said a murder was committed with a knife. Others says an axe. Ein zeh nacha. Testimony is not consistent. But if it was just a question of the color, black or white, the color of the shirt, peripheral details will not invalidate their testimony. And point number three is unanswered chakiros will disqualify testimony, but unanswered bedikas will not. Rav Kana, Rav Safra, learning Zichru Sanhedrin, Rabbi's yeshiva. Rabbi Rachama asked a chiddush. They said, "What's your kasha?" And he said, "He's kasha in our Mishnah, which says a witness cannot answer a chakira. It messes up the eidos is batal. Cannot answer a bedikos, then the eidos is kosher." The question is, bedikos, chakiros, they're both midaraisa. What's the difference? Azima explains the Gemara. That is the difference. By bedikos, you can refute it through azama even if you don't answer the questions. Yachi amritu ba tuva amritu ba. It's good that which you taught me. So Dav Mem Aleph, the Dav about Ma, about grandma. The grandmother is a daughter who was an Eira Marasa. The Eidim will not be killed because they only came to Asra Abayla. They didn't come to kill. When one gives Eidus over here and they just mess up on the peripheral Bedikos din, the Eidus is not batal. And when it is the difference between Bedikas and Chakira, he said when the Eidus will be refuted through Azama, Dav Mem Aleph, Grandma, Gemara, Sanhedrin.